It is a chilly morning this morning. I'm back in eastern PA, and I haven't taken a water temperature, but I suspect it's in the low 40s right now. The air temperature is 33. It's pretty cloudy right now. I'm just trying to work a jigged sculpin here, and I'm sure it's going to be a little slow until the sun comes up and starts warming the temperature of the water up a few degrees, but we'll just kind of work these areas slowly and methodically and see if we can't get this in front of their face. Something there. It's probably the bottom. Oh, there we go. There's a fish. Look at that. Look at that. Boy, he hit it as soon as it hit the water. As soon as it hit the water. There you go. Not bad. Not a bad way to start. Especially since I've only been fishing about 10 minutes. I would say that's pretty good for a chilly day. There's that sculpin right there. Nice brownie to start the day. Thank you, Mr. Brown. That's size 10 jig sculpin pattern I came up with. It's a fish killer. It's always a good sign when it's super early in the morning on a really chilly day and you snag a fish right away. So let's see if we can't get another here. Boy, he hit it as soon as it hit the water. I'm concentrating on a little bit slower areas, but I'm not passing up all the water. I mean, that's the beauty about when you're fishing with a streamer, you can fish fairly quick, so you can take casts everywhere and really cover the water. Let's wait over here and get along that bank. There looks like there's a little bit more depth there. I'm gonna walk up here and get a better vantage point. There we go. Nice fish. Nice fish. Boy, it's not very deep there, but it just, that was a good fish. That was a solid 15-incher. Boy, it just goes to show you, don't overlook water. I looked out there and it just doesn't look very enticing, but you can see that foam line there. It's shallow, but you can see that foam line, and sure enough, that's where it was. And he whacked it once again as soon as it hit the water. That was a nice fish right there. It never hurts to cast and spots it. You might not think hold fish, and it just shows you. I'm constantly reminded that if you look at a spot and think maybe, it's certainly worth a cast. Just really staying in contact with it, and I tend to overweight my jig streamers just because you don't want to lose contact with it. Because when you lose contact, that's when you're going to miss strikes. So when I'm jigging it, I'm just doing a slight jigging action, but I'm never really losing contact. So I can feel, sometimes I whack it like that. The first two fish I've caught, they hit it pretty hard, but a lot of times with these small streamers, they just take it like a nymph. They just kind of suck it in. So sometimes you'll just feel a little tick, or you'll just see your sighter move. There we go. Boy, he just, nice fish, nice fish, nice fish. Boy, he just a little, doop. Real nice fish. Quick release. Boy, he was a nice fish. That was a good 17-incher right there. He just barely tapped it. Sculpin is so far doing well for me. That was a nice fish for this creek. Let's see if we can't get another. Just a little dark water. It's about 2.5 feet out here. There's a little bit of foam. Just a little tick is what I felt. What's funny about that fish right there is, once again, that just came from really nondescript water. I'm looking at it now. I can get the glares off the water where I can see, and that fish was sitting in 2 feet of water there. Well, I'm starting to see a lot of olives pop now. A few midges. Oh, damn, he whacked it and I saw the flash. How the hell do you miss that fish? I felt it, saw it, everything. There we go. Get out of that tree. Ah, you. Wow. Boy, look at that fat guy. He is a chunk. Thank you, Mr. Brown. What a fatty he is. Great fish. Good stuff. Looks like a really nice spot right here. Get over there. A little bit calmer, right on that edge. There we go. Nice fish. Nice fish. There we go. All right. They're liking this sculpin. They are liking this sculpin. That's a pretty fish. Right in the kisser too. Right in the kisser. Pretty fish. Thank you, Mr. Brown. So you can see this riff right here. It's probably a foot deep here, but then there's an edge and you can see that foam line, a little bit still water over there, and right here off my rod tip it's a little bit of a shelf. And I was casting from downstream up here and I got nothing, and then I got parallel with it and I was able to work it and it just dropped off that shelf and he nailed it right there. Just working all this water right here. There just seems to be, you know, little pockets here and there of depth. There we go. Oh, look at that. Nice fish too. Oh, that's awesome. Little pocket right there he was in. Seems a lot bigger. Boy, he hit hard. Well, right in front of me, there's just like a little bucket. Thank you, Mr. Brown. So once again, when you're standing over here, it is not very deep out here at all. It's might be a foot deep, but just looking at, that's what good polarized shades really are helpful. So just looking out here, I just see these little buckets and I'm just working each little bucket. So it might be a foot deep on the left and right, but right there, it might be a foot and a half, and that's where that fish was laying, just in that little depression. So it's kind of like this all through here, and it gets really deep up there, but I'm just gonna work it the same way I've been working it, just kind of methodically looking at spots and picking it apart. That's the beauty about fishing a jig streamer. You can really, it's very accurate because it's heavily, it's a 4.0 tungsten bead. So, you know, I can really put it exactly where I want it. There was a riser right there. I can put it exactly where I want it. I'm in contact and I can hop it through this hole. I mean, that's maybe a 3-foot depression it was in, 3 feet long. That was it. And I gotta stay below them because it is super, super clear. Water like this, you're gonna get busted if you try to get parallel to them in shallow water. Okay, there's some really nice depth coming up through here. I'm gonna really pick this area apart. I'll fish close to me here first, and then I'll get out to the middle. Oh, damn it. He whacked it. I was slow to move on that one. User error. There we go. Right on the bottom. Right on the bottom. There we go, Mr. Brown. Nice fish. He looks spawned out. Boy, something whacked him, huh? Nice brownie. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Boy, they're pretty fish. So I was standing up here and I just felt like it was right above this hole because I can't wade, so I crouched down and I really almost got it vertical and I just felt it popping off the bottom. It's a good 3.5 feet deep. So I'm really letting it get down the depth here, staying in contact, and now I'm just jigging it right in front of me. There we go. Oh, he whacked it. Damn. Right when it got vertical, right in front of me. I'm seeing too many reds through here. I can see right out here there's 3 reds, and I got to get out of this water right here because I don't want to be fishing over these reds. As enticing as it is, you just gotta leave them alone. There we go. Hit right at the tail out there. Nice jumping brownie. Nice jumping brownie. Terrible net job. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Right at the base of that tree, there's a little trough. Last time I was here, I pulled one out of there. And I was sure not to pass up this spot this go around. There we go. Sculpin is doing it today. Thank you, Mr. Brown. So you can see this little plunge pool right there, and we had a nice little eddy, just a little bit moving water, some nice depth. I'm making upstream cast because it's so clear. You gotta stay below these fish to have any success today. See if we can bang another one out of here. There we go. Oh, look at that. My hand came off the line. He whacked it good. Two out of that same spot. I didn't get a good hook set because didn't have my hand on the line. There we go, another one. Oh yeah, there we go, nice jumping brownie. There, Mr. Brown. Nice. That's a good looking fish right there, nice chunk. Nice chunk. Look at that guy, that's a beautiful fish right there. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Looks like a bullet. Beautiful fish. It's been good to me today, that jig. Boy, he was in some skinny water right there. Real skinny water. You see how I'm just leading it through the drift? Slight jigging action, always in contact. The key is just never lose contact with your bug. There we go. See that, just slow water, just had that little slight jigging action to it, and it just gets that tail just undulating, and I lost him, but you kind of get it. That was a decent fish too. Just a slight little jigging action, and that tail, it just moves ever so slightly up and down. It's just tons of action with hardly any movement. There we go. Boy. There we go. It's the best way to fish this is just upstream cast. It's just served me well today. Right where it should be, right there. Right there. We're gonna call it a day right now. Thank you, Mr. Brown. It's been good to me today. Real good. So here's the sculpin pattern I was using. It's called a Honey Badger Sculpin. It's on a size 10 Hannock hook, and that's a 4.0 inverted bead. And I really like the inverted bead on this because it gives a little space right here, so you can make it a little bit longer because the bead's not taking up a lot of space. But jig is about it's about 2.5 inches long, and it's just got tons of movement, and it's just super enticing. But that's what all the success today was on right there. Calling it quits here today. Really had a great day. It was really fun. All I did was throw a small streamer. It's my Sculpin pattern. It's called a Honey Badger Sculpin. Shout out to JB. You know, today's conditions were super low, super clear, almost winter conditions. I mean, it is the beginning of December. We're getting ready to get into winter. But you know, it's that time of year where you got to use a lot of stealth when the water's low and clear, and that's the beauty about jigging streamers with a Euro rod. You can really be super stealthy and super accurate, and just really lead your streamer through the drift. And I had a lot of success doing that. I would really recommend, if you don't have streamers in your arsenal, you should really do that, especially this time of year. They work all year round, but especially this time of year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And as always, tight lines, everybody. I'll talk to you later.